And thank you for this very kind invitation and for the great handling of this proceeding so far. I'd also like to recognize the chairman of the Financial Center for Sustainability, Lagos, and the CEO of the FMDQ Group, Mr. Bola Onodeko Koko, CEO of Access Bank, who is represented here today, and he's represented by Mr. Roosevelt Ogbonna. The chairman, National Climate Innovation Center, and CEO of the Enterprise Development Center, Mr. Peter Bankole. Senior Special Advisor to the President on SDGs, Her Excellency Mrs. Adejoke Orelokwe Adefulire. And the Special Advisor to the Lagos State Governor on SDGs also, Mrs. Sholakwe Hammond. The former Special Advisor to the UK Prime Minister on Social Justice, Young People and Opportunities, Mr. Nero Ogua Jabo. Co-founder of AfricaHacks, Ms. Christine De Kongwe, and all of our participants here today. I must say how very delighted I am to join you at this official launch of the Nigeria SDGs Fintech Hackathon, and I think it's been very aptly named the Naija Fintech Hackathon with all of the creative implications of that. The organizers, the Financial Center for Sustainability Lagos, the Nigeria Climate Innovation Center, Access Bank and AfricaHacks, I think deserve our commendation for their vision in developing this initiative. And I must say that this is a creative initiative in and of itself, because it seeks to place the vast innovative capacity of fintechs at the center of that critical synergy between accelerating the achievement of the SDGs, using the tools offered by the green economy. I think that this is an important preoccupation today. It's a very important preoccupation for us today. We're no longer arguing now about the symbiotic relationship between poverty and climate change. But the ultimate irony is that poorer countries of the world are the least polluters, but probably the worst sufferers of the effects of climate change. And it's also evident that poverty simply disempowers the capacity to deal adequately with the consequences of climate change. So addressing poverty by way of accelerating the achievement of the SDGs is crucial in resolving the climate crisis, and resolving the climate crisis itself is crucial in the war against poverty. So I think that this synergy is so crucial. I'm so glad to see how the organizers have put this together, very creatively. But in the context of Nigeria, there are certain, things I think we can do and that call for our attention, and most of it has already been addressed in one shape or form or the other by, the Innovation Center, and their collaborators, the FC4S. For example, we need to expand the scope of sustainable farming and farming techniques. Now, this has become crucial because we realize, of course, that now with deforestation and all the issues with farmer-herder clashes and all of that, there's a need for us to look more closely at how to be more creative with farming techniques, how to engage our farmers, educate our farmers, use extension workers more actively. And I found this to be the case, especially as we were trying to implement an aspect of our economic sustainability plan. So we had to geomap, we had to first find out where many of these new farmers were, and we had to geotag them to their farms and all that. But more importantly, we had to get credit to them in one way or the other. And many of them are in far-flung areas of the country, but not just credit, but also information that they would need, for choosing the right type of fertilizers, and the various other farm inputs. And we found that there was obviously a problem there because, reaching these individuals, especially with credit, was a problem. But I think that with innovations, especially some of the great fintech innovations, we're beginning to find that even the unreachable places can be reached with credit. And sometimes, it's amazing how, these farmers, especially in the hinterland, many of whom are illiterate, are actually able to relate very quickly to fintech and to all of the various innovations around fintech and access credit, access money directly. I'm also sure how many follow the story of a village in Kwara State where the women were part of one of the social investment programs, the conditional cash transfers, which is given to the poorest communities, to individuals in the poorest communities in the country. So these women in 2 villages in Kwara State who get 5,000 naira per household put money together to build a community school. In another case, they put money together to buy themselves an ambulance for moving especially pregnant women who are at the point of delivery from their homes to hospitals. But the interesting part of this is that these were previously unreachable places. In fact, the governor of Kwara State, when he was talking about his visit to this community later on, he found it incredible that reaching these places was so difficult, yet money reached them regularly. And it was because some fintech innovator, a little fintech company, working with the social investment program, was able to devise the means of getting this money across to these women in these villages. So there's no question at all that fintech is crucial and is going to be even more crucial, especially as we pursue our goals of financial inclusion and trying to reach hitherto unreachable parts of the country. And there is no way of addressing the issues of poverty and all the issues around the SDGs if we are not able to reach those that need to be reached with credit. The other point which I wanted to make is with respect to containing deforestation, especially by our moves currently to move to cleaner energy rather than, of course, using firewood for cooking and all of that, which of course is standard in many places across the country, especially in the hinterland. So the point now is that we're trying to move to LPGs, to cleaner fuels and all of that. But how do you reach these places? How do they buy the LPGs? How do they, the entire value chain and the entire supply chain, if you like, around that whole thing requires somebody who is able to facilitate movement of money quickly. This is the sort of thing that we hope the fintech companies will be able to do, especially as we expand, the scope of this transition to clean energy, to LPGs all across the country. The final point I would like to make, and there's so many different examples, is with respect to our 5 million solar connections. I'm sure that some will be familiar with that aspect of our economic sustainability plan in response to the COVID-19, the fallouts of the COVID-19 pandemic. So we decided that one of the key things to do to kill several birds with one stone would be this massive solar connections, 5 million solar connections across the country, especially in the areas where there is no electricity currently. This will include off-grid as well as solar home systems, off-grid systems and solar home systems. Now, this is incredibly it's incredibly powerful for our efforts at resolving the climate crisis, transitioning to cleaner energy. but also it introduces tremendous opportunity for fintech companies, for payment systems, and in a lot of these areas, the only way to get payment off users of these solar systems is by some creative fintech company being able to manage that whole process, collect money in some cases, and in many cases pay out to owners. So I think that there is tremendous opportunity there, and this is something we're starting now. Of course, several companies have already shown some interest, but it's huge, and it's just the first phase. So as we address climate concerns, there are major opportunities for fintech companies, and their creativity is going to be very, very crucial here. Not just in just the regular making payments, but also in being able to give credit to those who require credit, especially in many of these areas where obviously they would not have anything like the collateral that your regular banks will be asking for. So there are, tremendous opportunity around this. So I think that just thinking about it is really exciting, and I'm so happy to see that we're going to be seeing a number of young people today looking at presenting their ideas to us. And I think that this is an incredible opportunity to really identify those ideas that will be useful going forward, and just to encourage others, that the scope of all of this is huge. There's so much room to play. There's so much room to do stuff. So on this note, I wish to formally launch the Nigeria SDGs Hackathon, and to enjoin all entrants to aspire to achieve their dreams and take advantage of the exciting opportunities that abound in the tech systems. I'm glad to have had this opportunity to speak to this very distinguished gathering. Thank you very much for your kind attention. Thank you.